over the past couple of days, there has been quite a bit of discourse about Mozilla and Firefox, but not because of the browser directly. As always, the marketing and graphic design teams are coming up with reasons to keep themselves around, because Mozilla announced another brand redesign, or a brand addition, a brand change. Anyway, introducing Kit, your new companion through the web. Hi, Mozillians. Is that a thing that they are called? I have never heard that before. As part of the community, we want you to be among the first to see the new Firefox brand, including our new mascot, Kit. You can learn more about Kit from this landing page. We'll check that out in a moment. And there's also a German and a French version. Here we have Kit. Now, it is kind of crazy to me that a company the size of Mozilla, their forum on the announcement got 700 views and 6 comments. I guess 5 comments, because one of those is the actual original post. So here it is. Here we have Kit. Say hi to Kit. New friend unlocked. I will pause it. There we go. The Firefox brand is getting a refresh, and you get the first look. Kit's our new mascot and your new companion through an internet that's private, open, and actually yours. They have some nice wallpapers that you can use on Firefox as well, or, you know, use as a wallpaper. Also, they are selling limited time merch, limited edition merch. Here is the North American shop. Here is the European shop. Let's find out. Let's go this sweater. Everything. Are they doing pre-orders? Okay, no, they're not doing pre-orders. It's just not that many people are buying them. Okay, because this has been out for like 4 or 5 days now, and it doesn't seem like there's a ton of desire to buy them. Unless they've just got a lot of stock. Also possible. The name is kind of boring, but it is a bit of a play on words. It's a play on the name Kitsune, which is a Japanese fox spirit with shape-shifting abilities. So, you know, funny little joke, and, you know, it works as a name. It's not a name that immediately screams Firefox. When I hear Kit, I think of a very different Kit, but that might be because my parents are old and we watched a lot of older series, but, you know, that's just me. I guess it's spelled different, but same. Before I say anything else, I do want to say Kit is a really cute mascot, right? The artist did a phenomenal job. I like the wallpaper. I like the design. Everything about Kit, I think, works really well. Some people have been saying, oh, I don't immediately think of a Firefox. I do. You know, maybe that's just me. I think it works really well. I think it fits really well into their design. And I don't think they've gone too minimal with it. Obviously, it's very simple shapes and very simple colors, but it's not a weird abstract logo. You can see exactly what this is. Also including specifically this frame in the demo. Look, I like it. It looks good. All of this stuff. But if you go and look at any of the discussion about this, at least discussion outside of... I didn't see who posted that. Why is Joshua Strobel, the Budgie dev, posting this? Anyway, any of the discussion about this, at least outside of Firefox spaces, there is a lot of mixed opinion about this. You have people who think it's cute and like the idea of selling some merch. Obviously, the merch is limited time, so it's not going to be like a long-term thing where it's like a money generation thing, but it's like a thing that's going to pay for itself. It's some goodwill, all of this good stuff. I think this is horrendously ugly. I don't know why you'd buy this one. At least the Kit stuff is cool, and I like the mug with the sticker on it, and I like the sticker. Yeah, people who just think it's not that big of a deal and kind of just like it because it's probably going to pay for itself with the merch. That is, if they didn't pay a stupid amount of money for it like a lot of corporate rebrands do. Also keep in mind, this is not like a full rebrand. Kit is not being used as like the logo for Firefox. It's just being used as a mascot. So you're probably going to see it in other merch. You're probably going to see it in announcements. You're probably going to see it on, you know, the startup page and things like that. It's not replacing the logo, for anyone who's worried about that. But you also have quite a bit of anger and hatred around Kit. And not because of Kit itself. I think most people can agree Kit looks pretty good. Obviously, some people think it's too minimal, but outside of those people, most people do like it. But Kit is a convenient thing to target as the latest outlet for the anger around Mozilla. So, Mozilla, they like to do these rebrands. So, last year they had the new Mozilla logo, and it looks good. But there have been a number of other either full or partial rebrands, and a lot of people feel it's kinda too much. And in a well-functioning project, in a well-functioning company, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But you had the first 2024 layoffs, then you had the second 2024 layoffs, 30% of their staff, and then you had some 2025 layoffs, let alone all of the layoffs that happened before that, and these are obviously being done as a cost-saving mechanism, right? Like, that's why you lay people off, you restructure the company. Then more recently, this isn't a paid position, but it's just another thing where a lot of people just feel weird about Mozilla. The end of the Japanese community. The Japanese translation community for Mozilla was getting smaller. There weren't that many people involved. But then they got basically replaced by an AI bot. An AI bot? A bot. AI. I don't need to say both words. And it was overriding a lot of the work they had already done, and there was no way for them to just say, hey, our work is obviously more correct here. And the people that were involved basically said, you know what? We're done. We feel like our work that has been done in the past is just being thrown away, so we're just done, basically. It doesn't follow our translation guidelines. It doesn't respect current localization for Japanese users, so they were lost. It approves its direct English machine translation immediately for all archived KB articles. It approves only in 72 hours after its updates, so we lost our work to train new contributors. It has been working now without our acceptance, without controls, and without communications, and over 300 knowledge-based articles are overridden by SumoBot, that is the translation bot. And again, this is not a paid position, it's a community-driven, open-source thing, but it's just another one of those things where people feel like Mozilla doesn't care. And I think it's very important to separate corporate from the people that are doing the actual work. The engineers, the artists, translators, UX designers, all of these people, I don't think anyone has a problem with. They operate within a structure that, at least to some people, doesn't really seem to care. They're hamstrung. They can't really do much when teams get cut, when people get laid off, when all of this stuff is happening. Now, is that a fair reason to just hate any sort of redesign? That's up to you. But understandably for some people, with the state that Firefox is in, with its market share, with the fact that Mozilla is basically owned by Google, the majority of their money coming from the Google search deal, it obviously leaves a bad taste in some people's mouths when they see something like this. Even though there is nothing wrong with Kit itself, Kit is cute, we love Kit. But when you see cuts to engineers being made, when you see cuts to all manner of teams, things like this just seem odd. It feels like resources are being spent on rebrands upon rebrands upon rebrands, and obviously not everything is being spent on rebrands. I want to be clear about that. There's obviously engineers being paid to work on Mozilla tech, but this is a zero-sum game, right? If resources from one thing go somewhere, they don't go to another thing. You don't have infinite money, and especially Mozilla, with the fact they're constantly laying people off basically every year at this point, you can kind of start to see why some people feel a bit weird about this. But not everyone, okay? Some people are very positive about this. Is the new Firefox Mascot kit enough to attract new users? I don't think a mascot is enough to attract new users, but I do like, the positivity about this. I do like thinking, okay, is this a way to bring Firefox into a new audience mindshare? Is this a way to bring attention to it and get people talking about it again and, you know, make people excited about Firefox. I don't pick a browser because of its mascot. I don't pick a browser because of, you know, cute little designs. I pick a browser because of the functionality. And if you look at something like, you know, Chrome, for example, you know, Chrome is just a very recognizable brand. Can they compete in the same way? Maybe not, right? Maybe not. And it looks like there's been a lot of trouble in doing so, so maybe approaching things in a different direction is a good idea. I'm not saying this is inherently a bad thing, but I do understand why some people feel a bit weird about this. One place I do think they very much missed, and this comment is right on the money, plushies. How do you make a mascot and not make plushies? Now, obviously, that's complicated, but there are companies you can work with like Makeship and various other places which can make this happen. This seems like such a wasted opportunity. I've raised this to so many FOSS projects. I've raised it to KDE people. I don't know why everyone is so opposed to doing plushies. It's such a good idea. There are so many people that would buy them. I know it's complicated, but more people should make plushies, right? More, like, I know that your shirts and stuff like that, they're good advertisements. Stickers, advertisements, they go on a laptop, water bottles, stuff like that. But plushies are nice. From my perspective, I think Kit is a nice mascot. I think it's cute. But I don't really think it moves the needle on interest in Mozilla, of interest in Firefox. Maybe some people are like, ooh, I remember Firefox existed, I'm gonna use it. But outside of that, I don't know. Like, again, it's not bad. It's not bad, and it's gonna pay for itself. Again, assuming they didn't pay a stupid amount of money to do this. But it's just one of those decisions where, why, right? Like, what are we trying to achieve here? And I think Joey Snedden of OMG Ubuntu puts it really well down in the comment section. I'll leave a link to the actual article as well if you want to read it, but I'm just interested in the comment he made right at the bottom here. As superfluous as adding a mascot is in the grand scheme, I do hope they didn't pay an outside agent an extortionate amount of money to design it, given they recently laid off literal engineers in an effort to save costs. I agree with this user that the mascot isn't really for us. Market share is critical for Firefox survival, and marketing helps gain market share. Mozilla's current branding approach for Firefox is a bit bland. Patronizing, navel-gazing, and worthy. And worthy? I'm not sure what he means by that. It's hard to make that stuff engaging for many non-techie folks. Yeah, when your entire marketing is around, like, privacy and stuff like that, like, that's important, but normies don't care, right? Like, they're running Windows and Chrome. They don't care about privacy. Yes, privacy is an important feature, but how do you say that privacy is important without just saying privacy, right? Like, that's a problem Mozilla tends to have, and a lot of companies really tend to have. A cute mascot could help catch their attention in marketing. Now, could is doing the heavy lifting in that sentence. This is Mozilla we're talking about after all. If there's a way to waste an opportunity, it will find it. Animated fox bounds into shot, raises paw and taps on the screen to attract viewer attention. Hey, Kit says, winking. Some of the features you have in your current browser are now available in Firefox, including a terms of service. Go install it. So, what are your thoughts? Do you like Kit? First of all, do you actually like Kit? And if you do, or if you don't, do you like Mozilla's sort of constant rebranding whilst they're doing layoffs and the market share's a mess and corporate gets paid a lot of money? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, because I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit of discussion about this. So, if you liked the video, go like the video. If you really liked the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon subscribes daily bearer pay linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and you know what? Maybe they shouldn't sell a plushie, because I know what some people on the internet are going to do.